The final quarter has begun. The last 3 months of the year. In crypto, these are not ordinary months, they are closing chapters, reckonings. Cycles come to a head, trends are exposed, narratives implode, and the charts, once driven by greed or hope, turn into cold mirrors reflecting truth. Q4 is where tokens are tested not by hype but by time. And now AFX faces that test. The clock is ticking. The question is simple: can it survive? This isn't just about price. It never was. Survival in Q4 isn't about staying green on CoinMarketCap. It's about withstanding pressure from markets, pressure from holders, pressure from developers, community, narrative, and silence. AFX has lived through silence before. It knows what it feels like to be ignored, forgotten, overlooked. But this time it's different. This time people are watching. Not everyone, but enough. Enough to create expectation. Enough to create tension. And tension is a double-edged sword. Because the moment people expect movement, they begin demanding it. They don't ask what's being built. They ask why the chart isn't moving. They don't ask what stage the roadmap is in. They ask why the token hasn't pumped. That's Q4 mentality. Impatience masquerading as urgency. Greed pretending to be strategy. And in the noise of that quarter, the true projects aren't the ones that scream the loudest. They're the ones that hold their shape. AFX has shape. It has form, foundation. But is that enough? The year started with disbelief. AFX had survived 2024's corrections, slowdowns, and abandonment. It lived through cycles that vaporized entire ecosystems. No VCs propping it up. No artificial injections. Just a core community and a team that refused to quit. It stood its ground through boredom, through deranking, through being forgotten. And then something shifted. The listing, the first exchange, then a second, a small wave of volume, wallets reactivating, questions returning, eyes refocusing. For a moment it felt like ignition, but ignition isn't explosion, it's spark. It's the moment right before something starts. And for AFX, that spark lit the room, but it didn't set it on fire. Q4 is fire season. That's when the market chooses what to burn and what to save, what to exit and what to accumulate. And now AFX sits at the edge, not in the red, not in the green, in the tension. In the in-between space where decisions are made that aren't reversed, where reputations are cemented, where survivors separate from stories. What makes Q4 cruel isn't that it exposes weakness, it's that it ignores potential. You can have the best code, the cleanest tokenomics, the most loyal holders, and still lose. Because the market doesn't reward truth, it rewards timing. And AFX is now on the clock. Every day that passes, people ask, will it move? Will it break out? Will it die? But that's the wrong question. The real question isn't about the chart, it's about conviction. Not of the token, but of the people behind it. Q4 breaks belief systems. It doesn't just liquidate wallets, it liquidates attention. If people stop watching, if they stop caring, the token decays. Not technically, but psychologically. And AFX has to survive both layers. The code must run, but the people must stay. That's where it gets real. Because right now, behind the scenes, the team is still building. Updates are being pushed. Internal tests are being run. But on the surface, the feed looks quiet. And quiet is dangerous in Q4. It gets interpreted as abandonment. People assume nothing's happening because they don't hear anything. But AFX was never loud. That's its strength. And its flaw. The paradox again. The token that survives through silence is also the token at risk of being dismissed for not being loud enough. The market wants dopamine. AFX offers discipline. And in Q4, that gap feels enormous. The community feels it. Holders who were once content to wait now open the chart twice a day. They check Twitter, they scroll Discord, they look for clues. Some are calm, some are fracturing. Some start whispering the same things the doubters have always said. Maybe it's stalled, maybe it's over, maybe it was never going to happen. But that's not the full picture. Because while some drift, others dig deeper. They trace the wallets, they track the staking, they read the contracts. They watch the on-chain activity that doesn't show up on influencers' dashboards. And what they see is this: AFX is moving, quietly, deliberately, not in price, but in pattern. Accumulation hasn't stopped. It's changed shape, spread out, smoothed, less reactive, more surgical. That's not exit liquidity, that's re-entry. That's what smart wallets do when the noise is too loud and the signal is too soft. They move early and quietly. But again, the question, will it survive? Because this isn't just about strong hands and silent builders. Q4 brings external pressure, regulation threats, macro movement, BTC volatility, altcoin exodus. If Bitcoin crashes, everything burns. If it flies, dominance sucks oxygen out of alt tokens. AFX has to thread that needle. It has to perform in a space where most tokens are just praying for relevance. So what would survival even look like? Not a pump, not a 10x. That's not survival, that's luck. Survival looks like this: holding the floor, holding the community, shipping the roadmap, maintaining presence, growing slightly but steadily, engaging but not pandering. Surviving means being there when January 1st rolls in and the whole world starts asking, what made it through the fire? If AFX is still standing, wallets intact, code running, price stable, it wins. Not the game, but the round that breaks most. And if it wins that round, it enters 2026 with leverage. Because when the new year comes, the attention resets. The market looks for survivors. It looks for the tokens that didn't die. That's when AFX flips the narrative. But it has to get there. And the market isn't going to make it easy. Whales will test the price. Retail will sell early. FUD will appear. Scammers will mimic. Quiet wallets will sell and claim it's over. New tokens will launch claiming to be the next AFX. It'll be messy. Q4 always is, but it's also clarifying. If the team holds their course. If the holders hold their belief. If the rhythm holds even without noise. AFX will not just survive. It will signal. It will become the answer to the question everyone asks in January. What did I miss while I was watching everything else? And the answer will be AFX. Still here. Still strong. Still quiet. But no longer being ignored. That's the outcome that matters. That's what the clock is counting down toward. Not explosion, but endurance. Not attention, but arrival. The charts may or may not reflect it yet. But for those watching, the message is already clear. This is the moment. Not to buy, not to sell, but to watch with clarity. To remember what crypto used to be. Cycles, belief, execution, and patience. AFX has all four. Now it just has to beat the clock.